Hello everyone. Today we're talking to some wonderful, marvelous, inspirational women who are seizing the opportunities to put themselves and South Africa on the global map. And I'm so happy and honored to have with me two beautiful, beautiful, beautiful young women. We've got brand ACEO of Sithembile Ntombela. Hi.
Hello, Uveka.
And we've got with us former Mrs. World, Candice Abrahams. And she still looks like Mrs. World.
Stop.
I feel like I need to take a picture like right now. I feel like I need to
we should take a selfie.
I feel like I need to get both of you in the picture.
I mean,
so
with that camera quality, I mean, we should.
We should, yeah. And it can only make us take a picture. It can only make us all look amazing. There we go. Thank you, ladies. That's one. Well, how are we?
Good.
Yeah. How
Fabulous.
are we? Fabulous.
Good.
All right. So. For those who don't know too much about the wonderful work that both of you do, Sithembile, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what it's like being brand SACEO.
Well, personally, if I were to describe myself, I think I'm a very down-to-earth person, mellow. You know, the girl next door that is very easy to get along with.
We'll ask your co-workers, but carry on.
I can tell. But really, truly, I'm just one of those ladies that believe in hard work. They believe in inspiration and really doing things for a purpose. And understanding that what you do is not really about today, the here and now, but it's about the legacy that you leave behind.
Absolutely.
So that's just the kind of a person that I am. I'm from the land of bananas.
Yeah.
That's KZN.
Oh.
From the I'm from Umlazi.
High five, fellow KZN, high five.
This is the right five.
I'm a KZN, yes.
Yeah, I'm from Umlazi, grew up, born and bred in Umlazi, raised by my grandmother and my mom. So there's a lot of me that screams of a child that was raised by grandmother. There's myths that I believe in. They torture me till today, by the way.
I know about those myths.
And I'm like, what was she talking about? Hey? And I discover, actually, those were meant to be the guiding principles.
I should have listened.
For me to shape my journey.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just, a normal, very inspiring girl, though I'd like to believe
and
that.
so humble, as we can see as well. So
yeah,
humble.
Why carry it, with you? Let the personality, let the work speaks for itself.
Absolutely.
And let your true values never depart from who you are.
Oh,
despite
wow.
of where you're working.
I feel like I need to get that on a voice note and we need to record that and we need to put it out.
Definitely.
All right, Mrs. World, Mrs. World, Candice Abrahams. I mean, there's so much more to you than the beautiful face and all of that. Tell us who Candice Abrahams is.
How long do you have?
Well, I know a little bit about
like
you, which I can't reveal right now. I know things because we spent some time together last year in Sun City, but we'll talk about that later.
And I got to get to know the cool side of Uveka, the side that
Not
people
the scary
don't know.
Side. Yeah,
we'll get to that. But Candice is a mother. I am 40 years old. I turned 40 this year.
Oh,
mother
wow.
of
You look
two.
great.
Thank you. I finally stepped into my passion and my purpose this year. And if I can tell you, the opportunities that have come when you step into your power and take control of your purpose and you live your life to the fullest. I believe in empowering and taking every opportunity, moments like this, every person that crosses my path, I believe that they should walk away from me feeling better about themselves.
And we do. And I can say that having spent that time with
Thank
you last year, yes.
Thank you. I believe in the power of the high. God, the universe, whatever you believe in. I believe that you need to live in intention. And every day I wake up and I say to my kids, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to live my life and hope that you witness and take from what I do. The negatives, the positives, but create your own journey in life, moving forward, but what I do.
Yeah.
So Candice, also from KZN.
Also
from KZN.
Okay.
High five.
five.
And if I say I've never really been a pageant girl. It's not my thing. And I always said I want to break those stereotypes because I'm just the girl next door.
But it brought you opportunities.
It brought me amazing opportunities.
Yeah,
but I wanted to break those stereotypes that pageants and modeling taught me so much. It taught me confidence.
Yes.
It taught me to walk in a room, to have interviews like this, to be able to talk to the teller at the grocery store, to be able to stand and make business decisions. Everything that I am today, I did it for the girl in Wentworth where I grew up. In Durban, the Bluff. Yeah, we're close. I'm Lassie and Wentworth.
Well, I'm not far, Verulam.
You know. So when they announced and they said South Africa, when I say the goosebumps, and that is my theme for the year is goosebumps, because when you are living in your purpose and your passion, you feel it, you know it. You get every day, you get dressed up, you show up, and you don't live with those limiting beliefs.
Yes, absolutely.
And the old me would have not taken this opportunity, because I would have said,
when you say old me, the one before 40?
Before 40, before Mrs. World, you know.
Okay.
It gave me the confidence when they said South Africa. I knew that I'm doing this for the brown girl, the girl that doesn't believe in herself. I mean, guys, I come from humble beginnings. And if I can say, and I need another 2 minutes here, Uveka.
No, a whole 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Let me just check the
minutes.
time. All right, wait, hang on a second. I'm timing you.
Women do not believe in themselves. Girls do not believe in themselves. And when you need a mentor or a coach in your life, when they say a role model, I never really knew what a role model is. You know, we didn't have social media. We didn't have our phones at our fingertips, you know. So we needed to look up to someone. And besides my mom and my grandmother, we didn't have much, you know, so everything was instilled. So I wanted to be that woman. I wanted to be that girl. And when they said South Africa, first Mrs. World from South Africa, I was like, I want to be that girl that takes ownership, holds literally that torch and shines it to show that other married women, mothers that are juggling.
Yes, it doesn't end when you're married and become a mom. It doesn't end there.
I mean, how many things we're juggling before this interview?
And we still keep it together.
I've lived a full day. You know? So, Uveka, back to the point is, I wanted to hold my country, South Africa, proud and say, as a woman of color in society today, it's a global thing. I want to be international and show women all around the world that you can be a mother, you can be a wife, and you can be a forefront living in your passion and purpose.
Absolutely. So, I mean, hearing this from the both of you, you've already you know what, my heart is just so full already with just hearing these words of inspiration from both of you. So from that point, how do you see the typical South African woman now in the year 2023? What is her purpose? What is her focus? What is she up to? We know what you've achieved. We know where you want to come from. But the women around you, the women in your circles, the other mums, the aunts, your daughters, your nieces, how do you see them? When you think of them, what are you seeing and thinking?
You see, I see pockets of excellence. I see ordinary women that are really doing their best to show their families, their communities, and the rest of the world that they are hardworking people. Amen. They have dreams and they can follow those dreams. I see a South African woman that is really trying hard to debunk the narrative that women should not be leaders, or women are not great leaders because they are emotional, they are bipolar, or they go through all sort of things as if we are unbalanced. But actually, we are the most that keeps it together, because you can juggle many balls and still be able to show up and still smile. So I see a lot of women that are trying to change the narrative of the old South African woman who is supposed to be a housewife. In fact, it's not even a South African myth, it's an African continent, because it gets worse, where they see a woman as somebody who must just, raise kids, be submissive, listen. And we said all those things are good, but there's more to a person. And allow women to actually shine their light. And I think the spike moment, it depends. Sometimes you find women that gets it early in life. And, they get those opportunities or they find their purpose.
Or something, there's a trigger, something happens.
Triggers. But I believe sometimes your passion and purpose find you.
You play in a slightly different field. Brand, also you're a brand, as she is many brands, all of those and more
Many
that she
brands.
mentioned.
I've worked in all your brands.
So, I mean, you're seeing women in maybe a different light, the typical South African woman in 2023, from what you've seen and in the space you play in. What is she up to? What is she doing? In terms of also, and I don't want to make it superficial.
Yes.
It's about in
Yes.
terms of having the confidence, whatever size she is, whatever color she is, or however dark the skin color is. And that's been a big, thing in recent years. What are you seeing? Where is she? What is she up to? How is she changing things?
So it's interesting that you brought that up, Uveka, because I'm around powerful women all the time at events, meetings. And funny thing is that a lot of women that are well studied, highly educated, come to me and say, you know what, I need your confidence. Do you offer classes? Do you do private classes?
Do you classes?
I do. Okay. I do.
There's going to get bashing from boardrooms.
Right?
That's why.
And so what has happened is a lot of women have focused, their parents have pushed them into study. And then the pillar, or let's just say the scale, it's a little bit unbalanced because now as women between their 30s and their 50s are now coming to me and say, listen, add that cherry on the top. I want to walk in. Yes, I want to do that TED talk with confidence. I want to walk in that room, step into my power, have that eye contact. I whatever I'm saying, I want it to match up. I want to take control. Women are so hungry right now, Uveka.
South
African women want help, but they are so hungry, they're so enthusiastic, they're so passionate now. And because I show the mentorship that I have with my daughter, which turned 18, a lot of mothers are relating because it shows with my daughter
I've seen you actually. I mean, I follow you, I stalk you.
Stalker, you don't like, she doesn't like my stuff. Take your OPPO now and like my stuff, please.
Oh, did I not like it?
No, you don't like it.
She's stalking, but she's not amazed by the beauty that I see. And I'm like, who's the mother, who's the daughter? Yeah, I don't know, because like you're almost the same, you look the same. But and I see you include her in a lot of that. I see you include her in a lot of the things that you actually do, and that's great.
And Uveka, I've never been that mother to push my kids. I've always I didn't want them to feel that, oh, I'm into this, you need to do it, or I'm going to push you in this, and then you're going to come back and tell me, oh, I didn't like it because I want them to make their own mistakes. They need to learn. They need to learn. And so I see her now with eating healthy and her fitness. I mean, she's healed her own eczema from eating correctly.
Oh, wow.
She's in matric. Her mind is open. She sees that when she doesn't work out, how there's an imbalance.
Yes.
So I see now how it's a ripple effect on even the girls around her. So mothers are now coming to me and they're like, please, can we sign up for? Yes, can we sign up for coaching? Can we sign?
Well, I'm next.
You next.
Well, we go together. Okay, she said somewhere between there and 50. So I've got 2 years left. So I've got to come. Okay.
Oh, you and I are almost on the same.
But
listen, like this.
You mentioned something about housewives, and I want to say I grew up with my mom being a housewife.
Yeah.
And she wasn't just a housewife. And that's why I feel like we have so many strong, powerful women now. Yes. Because the housewife also
it's the hardest
mentor
job in the world.
It is the hard. But I witnessed my mother having late nights because there was times where there was no food on the table. Dad was starting his own business. We didn't have electricity. Listen, I always say people need to know. They look at me and they're like, "Oh, you're so fabulous." I come from a 3-roomed house. I had an outside toilet.
Very well.
I had a candle.
There was no GHD hair
do you
straightener in those days.
I scrubbed with the orange sack. I come from humble beginnings, and I witnessed my mother staying up. She'd paint ornaments. She'd find things to sell and do to pay the bills. So that tenacity,
absolutely.
Raised by a strong woman. And so now I encourage other women out there, if you're listening, be a mentor, give back. Let's continue growing South Africa.
Yes.
Brand South Africa needs to be all about strong, dynamic, powerful women.
Well, ladies, we know the spaces that you both work in, yes? Similar, but different as well. But I'm sure that you both faced particular challenges when it came to being young Black women when you got into the space in the first place, or just young South African women as well. Tell us, how you overcame those, how you didn't let those demotivate you or say, I just don't think I can do this anymore. I think this is, they said I can't do it. I'm sure I can't do it. I'm not the person. Sithembile, you must have faced that a lot also.
I do. Actually, what's going in my mind now is, do you want brutal honesty? Or
Trauma.
Can I
Sure. Bring up the
sugarcoat
trauma.
it?
Well,
But
you're the boss. No one can shout at you, so tell us the truth.
I've got bosses, but the truth of the matter is, I remember 12 years ago when I walked into this organization, I was coming from hardcore private sector, FMCG. So obviously one would have seen the differences and dynamics in terms of processes, people, perceptions, because that is why I said earlier on, we need to debunk certain myths that, you have to work for our government because it means you would have been in certain structures. Yes. I think that's nonsensical. I think we are in an era where people must be given opportunities to work because they are worthy, number one, but also they are skilled to do the job. So one of the things I did not let go into my skin, allowed it to go into my skin, is the fact that, there'll be people that say, so who is this one? And then they try to see, who am I affiliated with? How did I end up here? And I said, actually, I read the newspaper, I saw an ad, I applied, and guess what? The underground, the higher ground said this one is for you.
Every day I had to wake up and say, Candice, what is your purpose? What is your intention for the day? And my intention is, firstly, I need to fill up my cup. I need to pray.
Yes.
Yeah. I need to fuel my body correctly. I need to take a moment to get into my thoughts, clear my thoughts. I need to be a good mother.
Yes.
I need to be a good wife. And then every life that I touch around me, I need to do it in a positive way, that when they walk away, they are uplifted.
Yeah.
And so on the Fashion Hero, I saw many broken individuals, like we do every day.
Yeah, we did.
Like we do. I mean, we are all broken. We all need a little bit of shining and fixing. So, for me, allowing them to step out, shining them up, bringing that
and you did.
fire and that spark,
you brought it, yes.
I realized, Uveka, the beginning of this year, when we shot the Fashion Hero, I realized that turning 40, I let go of my limiting beliefs, and I feel like as women, that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
When you say be confidently you, be consistent, be intentional, that's what you need to do. Let go of other people's perceptions of you, and when you get up every day, which is what I had to do, get up every day and say, listen, forget about the world. Focus on you and your God-given talents, and everything will come together. And if I tell you, every day I walk with goosebumps because when you live your passion and your purpose, it feels good. I've let go of other people's...
It's wonderful getting older, isn't it?
Yes. Oh,
it's
yes.
wonderful. We should embrace getting older.
It is amazing.
I love getting
you
older.
Stepped into your power and it shows, you've got this glow on your face.
And we were talking about this earlier while we were getting our makeup done. And we were talking about how suddenly 2023 has become the year where people have just decided, I'm going to make that change that I need to make. I am going to get rid of the trash in my life. I'm going 100%. to get rid of the stuff that is not serving me and the people who are not making me happy and doing that. So I want advice from the two of you very quickly, if you can. What would you say to the South African woman who needs to make that change, wants to make that change, whether it's work, whether it is her personal life, her relationship, whether it is a friendship or a kinship that needs to go, whether it's the in-laws or even the parents sometimes, whatever. What would you say about taking that chance, taking that opportunity, jump into those cold waters? What would you say to her about doing it? Because you had that moment where you say you answered the ad and it happened.
Uveka, so I think my advice to women in South Africa, you have to be self-aware. So self-aware means you are connecting with your inner self. You understand what you need and what works for you. Once you know that and you know where you want to go, then you are able to deal with whatever circumstances come. So meaning you are able to say, here, this does not serve me, it's okay, and have peace with it. It starts with being aware, so that consciousness, it has to happen first internally so that it comes out alive, because you've self-belief. And also I'll add self-belief there as well. You have to believe in yourself, because if you are not self-driven or self-motivated, you know what? Storms will come, the noise will come, lies will come, but keep your eyes to who you are which stems from understanding.
Yeah.
That actually they can write all they want. I know my identity.
Yeah.
I know who I am.
Trust
and I
your
know
gut
where
and
I'm
instinct.
going.
Yeah.
You know, this is a basic cocktail, but it has worked and has served me.
My wish for South African women and women at large, globally listening, you know, OPPO is an international brand. So
Yes,
women
yes.
internationally, they're going to be listening.
Yeah.
It's simple. Have a why and remember your why.
Yeah.
Don't ever give up. There's going to be tough times. There's going to be days where you want to let go. You feel like giving up. Remember your why. Remember why you started. Remember that passion. It's a simple thing like why. Get up every day and say, why am I doing it? What do I want?
Yeah.
What are
Yes.
my expectations? Have a why and get up every single day and show up for yourself by remembering your why.
And what is your wish for women this Women's Day, Sithembile?
Well, it's simple. My wish for this Women's Day, 2 things. Gratitude. Gratitude for hard times. Gratitude for good times. And the second one is take a chance on you this Women's Day.
Amen.
Yes.
Just make that U-turn and say, I'm taking a chance on me.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
Can I just say,
Great.
you are glowing, girl. Whatever it is
Well,
you
I'm
are
told to be
doing.
pregnant, so that's not happening.
I said, amazing.
Amazing.
We
Thank
have
you.
all Tina Turner.
Thank you.